All. Yes. hmm Um, I just want to make mention that there are a lot of individuals that feel that the women's rights, see women's movement, yes, that the women's movement, that there's a lot of there's discrimination. Oh, yeah. And they got some leaders in the women's movement. Yes. In fact, this morning I was watching the news, and there's 5 women. Yes. And 4 of them are openly gay, transgender, lesbian, whatever, however they describe themselves. Their sexuality, right? And they are women. And they're in places of power approach. Now, the mayor of Seattle, I'm going to sue you. The sheriff of King County, I'm going to sue you. The new superintendent of schools of Washington State, I'm going to sue you. And then there's the police chief of Seattle Police Department. Yeah, you're going to get sued. Ouch. And then there's a 5th one. Yes, the superintendent, the sheriff, the police department, the mayor, and then the new president of the University of Washington. You're going to get sued. Now, this concept of women's movements and the empowerment of women, I really don't think it helps your cause as a gender. Yes, to discriminate against men. It does not help women to make up false police reports of domestic violence or child abuse. Chief of Police of Sequim, it does not help you as a woman or any women to make up false police reports where you refuse to admit the evidence that the man did not commit a crime. Ouch. In fact, I would say that it's detrimental to the whole idea of the civil rights of women. Now, when women discriminate because their movement is more important than the equal rights of citizens, yes, I, as a man, indiscriminately, without any discrimination, sue you regardless of your gender, yes, your sexuality, your race, your ethnicity, or your religion. Coach, I don't give a fuck who you are. I will sue you for refusing to enforce child abuse laws. Now, somebody thought, well, Paul looks like a really mean father. And I know that gays and lesbians might not like me, but I really don't care. When you do not protect the civil rights of American citizens, it harms any and all movements that are concerned about the equal rights of gender. Now, it happens to be that these 5 boys, right, that are almost men, at least these 2 are, right, they actually have a father that never committed any child abuse at all. So when are these women going to realize that your gender or your sexuality really doesn't matter to me? I'm more concerned about the lawsuit, Mayor of Seattle. Now, I did email Mayor Ed, yes, and this women's empowerment. It really doesn't empower women to not enforce the laws of the United States. Lesbian chief, lesbian sheriff, yes, openly gay sheriff of King County. I don't care what your sexuality is or what your gender is. I'm concerned about the liability of the laws of the United States. I do not discriminate when it involves lawsuits. Now, it is not empowering for women to discriminate against men because they dislike men. Oh. I emailed the city of Seattle, the Seattle Police Department, malicious harassment. Oops. Then there's the malicious and intentional filing of false police reports. Oh. Then there's the child abuse of the trauma, yes, of children having to witness law enforcement refusing to enforce the laws. And then there's the requirements of the mandatory reporters. Now, when I emailed institutions of higher education, University of Washington, yes, Washington State University, yes, I did know that you cannot have, you're getting sued. You know, this Equal Rights Amendment and domestic violence and Planned Parenthood and Roe versus Wade and sex discrimination, women suffering, and all these different organizations that support the equal rights of women and this empowerment of women and all these women that have been elected to office in this state and quite possibly other states. You have any knowledge of child abuse or domestic violence, you are personally liable for refusing to obligate the enforcement of the laws. You can go to prison. Now, you can't issue court orders without any civil rights protections to the minors named. You can't issue court orders without protecting the civil rights of the respondent. You cannot issue court orders without the acknowledgement of the petitioner. And we sure the fuck can't use forgeries to issue court orders. So I want you to know, congratulations on the empowerment. But the whole movement is going to take a step back because I will put in